Hello.
Hello and welcome to the Mariah Report.
I'm not Dan Enriquez.
And I'm not Martin Burgess.
It's the other way around.
I'm Dan Enriquez.
I'm Martin Burgess.
And here we are. This is our, part 4
Of
for Glitter.
Yeah.
Glitter has been doing really well. Thank you, everyone, for all your support and great feedback. Everyone's been loving the Glitter series.
Well, I've been loving it too.
Yeah.
Listening to it. But, it's funny to talk about Glitter and realize it really was a mood as well. There was a time period of Glitter.
I mean, you want to talk about an era. This
Yeah.
is like a quintessential, this is the definition of an era.
Right.
Like from the looks to the sound to everything,
world,
the mood, the
culture.
world, everything in this time.
Yeah.
It's all right there. It's so crazy.
Right.
Because you think the Mimi era.
Mm-hmm.
You think, the Rainbow era. But this is such a standalone era.
Yeah. It was, not jam-packed. Eventful.
Eventful
Yeah.
is a great way to put it.
A lot of
And
events.
it really was.
Yeah.
We had a lot of ups, a lot of downs.
Yeah. But then you look back at the down, you're like, oh, they weren't really a down.
That's really not a down.
Yeah.
I think, so this episode, we're just going to sort of recap the whole era.
Right.
And talk a little bit about the movie.
Right, because last episode we left off with the soundtrack that had come out.
Right. We went through the whole thing, everything, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so we're going to sort of pick up sort of with the movie because we want to talk a little bit about the movie.
Yeah.
Because it's iconic. It's a cult classic.
Yes,
A cult.
apparently.
Yes, it is.
I don't know what cult, the lamb cult.
The
I
lamb
guess.
cult.
Actually, you're in a cult if you're listening to this.
If you're listening to this, you are definitely in a lamb cult. So we are.
that cult.
We are a breed of our own, honey.
So once upon a time in Sydney, Australia, in 2001, Sean, who does our graphics,
Yes, I love him.
and me met up at 9 a.m. in downtown
9
Sydney.
a.m.
Yes, the first screening.
to see the movie?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think it was a weekday too.
Oh wow.
It wasn't a weekend, I think. Anyway, all I knew is that it was early.
It was early and you were there.
And no one was around.
Nobody.
So me and Sean go to the theater, cinemas, to get our tickets. Excited as hell.
Of course. I'll have 2 tickets to Glitter.
Yeah.
Just shouting it from the rooftop.
Yeah, it was me and him, and then this couple up in the rafters.
That's it?
And that was it.
Oh, wow. That's sort of how it was for me, too. I did not get up at 9 a.m., though. That's for damn sure. I can't do that. No,
Yeah.
actually, I was in school at the time, so I probably was up at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And then went to school. And then there was a theater right up the street from the college, and I went there after classes.
Oh.
And there was maybe a handful of people.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. It was very empty, but
handful
I did
good.
not care.
No.
I did not care. Honey, this is the first time Mariah on the big screen.
Again, I think I mentioned this. It's that funny moment when you realize you're seeing her do things for more than a minute.
Right. And
And not being interviewed.
Right. And do things outside of,
Like walking.
yeah.
Down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or hanging out, with her backup dancers.
Or dancing
just
in the
doing
club.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It was mind-blowing.
When the very first time that we see Mariah in Glitter is when she's at the club for the leopard print night.
Yes.
And they're dancing. She's dancing.
She works there.
Oh, my God. I literally, my heart could just jump out of my chest when that moment.
Right.
Still to this day when I watch it, that is my favorite moment.
And you
just
can hear
that
the music
first time.
in your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, and then it goes into Blondie.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was everything to me. That very first moment of seeing her on the big screen.
Yeah.
It brings back so many memories, so many feelings.
Yeah.
And it always puts a smile on my face. It's she is just shaking them damn hips.
Yes. And the arms are moving.
And the arms are all about,
Yeah.
and the hair is
glowing.
great.
Yeah,
Oh my God. And we first see her because they have TV screens above where she's dancing. And
Yeah.
oh my God, it's so amazing.
I know, right?
So amazing.
It was good.
Oh, it was beyond good.
But again, imagine we have a solid decade of Mariah Carey-ness. This was a whole new experience.
As a lamb, you were just just gasping at everything because Mariah's doing things.
Right.
Even though she's not Mariah, she's Billy Frank.
Right.
But Mariah's up there doing things.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Mariah's not singing. You know what I mean? Yeah. All those moments when she's not singing. So another one of my favorites is when she's not singing, when her and Dice get into a fight, and then Mariah slaps him. I was like, oh my God. Like you never saw Mariah like that before because she was such like this like in the box type of thing. Like you saw her in the music video, you saw her on the you know performance, but you didn't see any of that stuff. So it was like like eye opening.
But what about when she woke up in the morning next to him? Scandal.
A scandalo, honey.
Uh-huh.
And she looks gorgeous in that scene, though.
She looked good.
She looked really good.
Yeah.
And he was cute, too.
He was cute.
I'm not mad at Dice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name in real life?
Max Beasley.
Max, yeah. Apparently, he's somebody, but I don't know what he's in.
He's European.
Yeah.
Over there.
I know, and he has a really thick accent, too, but not in this movie.
Yeah.
So fascinating.
Isn't that funny?
It blows my mind
Yeah.
how people like can put on an American accent, I guess. I can't. I can only do a Southern accent, so don't try to get me doing nothing. That's all I know. But what are some of your favorite things from the movie? Scenes, moments, looks?
Favorite scenes? The classic. Okay, let me start with my favorite lines.
Okay.
The label makes these decisions.
Oh, love it. We use it all the time here.
Always. It's my excuse for everything. Like, I'm sorry. The label is the label.
The label makes these decisions.
I can't do anything about it. I'm sorry. Even though secretly it was my decision.
Secretly, we are the label.
Yeah. It's not a date.
It's not a date.
Classic song. Oh, shit. Another one. Turn Silk down. Billy all the way up.
All the way up.
Classic.
I like that. I love, They Don't Matter. They're just back.
Oh, the best.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah.
And that is done
That's a scene stealer, that moment.
It is. Mm-hmm. And because then Mariah claps back.
Steals back the scene, yes.
Yeah. Huh? Absolutely. Those are really, really good.
Oh, now that Silk interaction is really interesting because Padma Lakshmi, who plays Silk, still out here working.
Oh, yeah. Top chef girl.
Top chef.
Yeah.
Running the world.
Oh, honey, she knows. She knows what's up.
Uh-huh.
She's a foodie.
Big foodie, but also a big feminist. She's out there doing a lot of like campaigning for women's rights and talking about stuff. Oh, I just watched on the PBS app, there was a Lydia Bastianich special where she had like a sit-down dinner with some celebrities.
She's the chef or something, right?
Yeah, that cook. Home cook chef. Padma was there, and then we went back to Padma's hometown in India.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, we went all the way back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really fascinating.
I like her. I always liked her.
She's great. I love her a lot.
So this was like one of her one and only acting gigs?
First, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is like her first like professional gig in America.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, because she was in England, I think, first.
Well, look at like, how everyone's like, oh, Glitter was so horrible, but it basically launched her career,
Padma's, and Terrence Howard. Yeah.
Like they went on to like do big things.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they're legendary in like their own right now.
Right.
And so it's just so funny because it was a launching pad for a lot of people in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, for Mariah, it may not have done the best it could have, but it still is such like an amazing part of Mariah history.
Yeah.
And her catalog.
Yeah.
Her discography. That music is amazing.
Right.
Absolutely amazing.
Well, so I was saying like Padma has been she's had like interviews since, and she talks about that moment when they're in the recording booth and she can hear Mariah singing for real. And she's like, oh my God, Mariah has this Olympic voice. Yes. And you're like, yeah, that's a good way to say it.
It's a good way to say it.
It's an Olympic sound.
It's like something you just don't hear things like that.
Right.
Or like people like that just sing.
Yeah.
So to like be in the presence of that.
Can you tell me about Glitter? What do you remember about shooting
I knew
Glitter?
you were going to ask me about Glitter.
Tell me about Glitter.
I get asked about Glitter more than Mariah Carey gets. This is my personal theory.
Yeah, it might be true.
I was really excited to do Glitter because it was my first huge movie. And at the time, it was a really big deal. I have to tell you, the best thing about Glitter is standing next to Mariah Carey while she sings a cappella. She's a freak of nature. It's the same way I felt when I saw Michael Jordan. These people have these Olympic talents. My role, as usual, that everyone will tell you, was supposed to be much bigger, but most of it wound up on the cutting room floor. So if you want to see me on glitter, the good news is that you only have to watch the first half an hour.
And, like, obviously, we've seen Mariah live and performing and singing, but, like, that's through a microphone.
Right.
Like, Padma's standing right next to Mariah when she's just singing and belting out. Like, no microphone, just bare voice.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be, like, chilling.
Right.
It's like, that's like, oh.
Yeah.
The ultimate. The ultimate voice.
Yeah.
That's Mariah.
But then you pull Padma and they're like, okay, Padma, now you sing. You're like, what?
I am not trying to throw shade at Padma. I think I was watching an interview of Mariah and they were talking about that scene where Mariah's in the backup and everything, and I think she said, and I don't know if she's trying to be shady or not, but we know Mariah. She was like, yeah, the girl who plays Silk, they found the exact perfect one because she can't sing at all. Something like that. And it's so funny, like, just to look back at it. And Mariah's like, yeah, this girl, she is like, can't, like, tone deaf, like nothing. So right on spot.
Well, Padma has said, I've seen an interview somewhere, and Padma was like, they asked her about it and she had to explain the situation. And Padma said, my character was supposed to be a bad singer, and for me, I didn't have to act. Like, I'm a bad singer. So she knows.
She knows. I mean, you obviously you're in on it. Padma has other things going on. She don't need to be worried about singing.
She's doing fine.
No, she's doing perfectly well.
But she's actually really cool in real life.
Oh no, yeah. I've listened to her on other podcasts and things. Like, she's like totally, like, she's down. She gets it.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's everything.
Yeah.
So we love her. And then, of course, Terrence Howard went on to, do other big movies. Mm-hmm. And then, currently he's out there with the Empire franchise, which is huge, which Mariah also made an appearance on. And then what were they elsewhere? Are they in together? Was he in?
Didn't they do an awards something
they
together? They
sat next to each other at an awards thing. I think I'm wanting to say the Golden Globes when Mariah wore the silk dress. It was black. And
they presented something together.
They presented something. Well, he's presented her a couple of times. Like, one time he presented her with an American Music Awards. The time she sang
Thank God I Found You.
No.
Through the Rain.
Nope. I Stay in Love.
Oh,
she got like a special achievement award, and he introduced her and stuff like that. So they're still friendly, and whatnot. I'm sure they don't talk about glitter when they're together.
They should.
I know they really should. They should go back to those moments. Maybe they laugh about it, and be like, "Can you imagine?" Like,
I'm sure it's more like, "Oh, that director."
Yeah, that director. He's some guy.
I don't think he's done much.
No, well, I think his big claim to fame was ER, the TV show. Like, he directed that.
Oh.
And then he, they went through a couple different directors and things of that nature, Glitter, the movie, before they finally brought him on. And see, here's the thing. I think when you are creating an original concept of a movie, let's say, and you really want to know who your director is from the get-go.
Yeah.
If you're going through different directors, that's how your original or your original idea sort of doesn't come out how you want it to be, because now you're 5 directors in.
They're coming in on the project.
They're coming
versus
in.
Developing.
Exactly.
With you. Yeah.
And I think that was one of the things that was not on Mariah's side for Glitter.
Yeah.
Or all that glitter is like, it wasn't going to be made because you don't have that creative visual person helping you to bring it to fruition. Mm-hmm. So, and also, with all the script changes and everything, as we've talked about. So it was sort of, it just wasn't going to be what Mariah intended. But like I say, it stands alone.
It's what it is.
And it is an iconic moment, at least for us lambs.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's always going to be there. The soundtrack is great.
Oh, the soundtrack is everything.
Yeah.
Can't say enough.
No.
We got great music videos.
Yeah.
We got great performances.
Yes.
Girl, we got everything.
Yeah.
And a movie out of it.
I know.
God, they need to put this back up on streaming.
They do.
They
It
do.
was on Hulu for like a minute. They took it down.
Right. And I had, you know how on Hulu you can save it to your, you can save it to your like whatever.
Yeah.
I saved it, but when I go to the page now, it just has like the cover. It doesn't, you can't press play.
I wonder why.
Yeah, because it's not there. I don't know. I don't know what like streaming, if any of the listeners out there know what the streaming laws are, or like, you know what I mean?
I'm sure they had to get it authorized to get up there.
I'm sure, but like, why doesn't it
But why did they take it down?
I guess probably places like, Hulu or Amazon or Netflix, they probably buy it or license it for like a specific amount of time. Like, hey, we'll give you this X amount of money for 6 months.
Yeah.
But like,
I feel like by the time I saw Glitter and by the time I actually went to go watch it, it was gone. And
I know,
it wasn't
right?
long.
It was only there for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Because I went back and then, everything.
I think we announced on here, it's on Hulu.
And by the next episode, it was
getting
gone.
hate mail.
Everyone's
blaming us.
Like, you lied to me. You said it was on Hulu. I said, bitch, I saw it.
Yeah.
I did.
I saw it too.
I'm sorry. It would be good to have it on streaming services because, we did the watch-along episode the other week. And, we had to watch it on YouTube because you can't even actually buy this on iTunes.
No, we had. You have to rent it off Amazon. Rent it.
That's the only place that you can rent it for like $3.99.
Yeah.
No other services have it, which is really a shame.
Yeah.
Like, I would imagine that like with the whole new push for justice for Glitter, they would put it up there for a minute.
Or just put it up.
Why
just
not?
have it out there.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
So, and then the other thing is, of course, it doesn't stream. The soundtrack doesn't stream on services either. You have to buy it.
Yeah.
But that's good because that's why it went number one on iTunes, because people were actually buying it as opposed to streaming it. Buying it is always better.
Yeah. Well, I think like when the whole contract thing went down. Oh, do we have to talk about that?
We have to talk about
that's
the back
coming
end
up.
of it. Yeah.
When Virgin Records released Mariah, I feel like the album got lost in all of...
Hello, microphone.
Hi. The album got lost in all of that.
Right.
And so there was never like a reissuing of the contract or the rights.
Or like,
And then the world changed into streaming services. Mm-hmm. It probably just never got
really
caught up.
Got back into that section or whatever you want to call it. But let's talk about sort of what happened after the soundtrack came out. So we were getting the music videos and we talked about those like Don't Stop and she was doing the concerts for Tribute to Heroes and things like that. So Mariah really did go back to work.
She did.
She really did.
But also at the same time, now it's that forever stamp of crazy Mariah. She's crazy.
Oh, of course.
And that was like the blanket statement.
And if you look at it like from when the craziness, the quote craziness headlines started, which were like the end of July. Mm-hmm. Now, if you go to by the time the movie comes out, which is the end of, so it's September 21st. So let's say July 25th to September 21st is how many months? 2 months? Within a 2-month time frame, the media, the world, and the general public literally flipped and did a 180 on Mariah, and she was the most hated person in America. Mm-hmm. For what? Mm-hmm. Making a movie that you didn't like? Mm-hmm. So now she's just deserves all this hate?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But let's
look at how people were treated in general. Any kind of like straight, I don't even know the word. Something odd happens to them. For example, they have a physical breakdown. Now you're just trash. We're done with you.
We're done with you. Like she was literally like just tossed aside.
Like imagine Mickey Mouse's head fell off. You think they're going to shut down Disney World?
I don't know.
They put the head back on and keep going.
Head back on, honey.
And pretend it never happened. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was a small kerfuffle.
Small little blip.
Yeah.
Because, for that time where Mariah was seeking treatment and things, that was just a couple of weeks.
Right.
And she was back to work.
But she wasn't even allowed to stumble.
No, because any little thing, they're nitpicking her now.
Right.
Every little thing was nitpicked.
Yeah.
So we have the album comes out September 11th. Then Mariah she does the Tribute to Heroes things and all of that, but she makes like a first sort of public appearance at the the screening, the movie premiere in LA, where she wore that cute little tank top thing.
The black side.
Yeah. And she was very natural looking. She had just her hair was regular, like
bangs.
jeans. Yeah. And they invited all the lambs. There were like fans that like actually went there, and Mariah sat in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Could you believe it?
Yeah.
Could you imagine watching Glitter with Mariah?
I know.
Oh, girl.
But now I look back and I think, I wonder what was really going through her mind, because we know she was diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder now.
Yeah.
So was she just like low-key just pretending it wasn't happening?
Of course.
Like she knows that, but we're like, woo, Mariah.
Yeah.
Glitter.
Of course, she was trying, with everything that was going on, I'm sure she just didn't want to think about any of it.
Yeah.
At all.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah. But when people are coming for you left and right, you're definitely not going to tell them some of, your person. You're not going to make yourself vulnerable. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, you weren't allowed to.
Well, no, you weren't allowed to, but like also.
Because imagine she said that. She's for real. She confirmed that she should be confirmed crazy in those days.
Right, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It would have been even worse. But I mean, luckily, I guess nowadays, the public viewing on, mental illness or mental health is very different.
Yeah.
And so it is good that like people can speak out on it now.
Oh, yeah.
But back in the day, no. Gosh, no.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's so hard to think like, oh my God, that was only really like 17, 18 years ago. And look how much has changed, which is a good thing. We like to see change.
Well, 18 years ago is almost 2 decades.
Well, that's true. 20 years.
Yeah.
Girl.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
But doesn't the glitter era just seem like it was yesterday?
It does. Yeah. It feels like
I remember so much about it.
In my mind,
it feels like.
Yeah, in my mind, it's like 3 albums ago.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it really has been 2 decades. And that it just makes you think like, oh gosh, if that was 20 years ago and people weren't even able to like, speak on mental health.
They weren't allowed to be exhausted.
They weren't.
That's what she was saying.
No, they weren't.
I was exhausted and then branded crazy.
Yeah. I mean, think about like, if that's 20 years ago, think about what it was like 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't even spoken in the family.
Yeah.
It was not even like nobody spoke on anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, change is good. We love that.
Yeah. Well, look at now, she can say it out loud.
Yeah.
And the reaction isn't what that was.
No, of course. Of course not.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting, like Mariah did this whole press wave for the Caution album, and it really wasn't spoken about at all.
No. Because
not that it needs to be. It doesn't need to be. That's her personal business.
Right, exactly. And also, well, one, they probably told people not to talk about it, but it's probably not even that interesting.
It's really not that interesting.
It's her medical
issues, you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you got a cavity? Sure, bitch,
Exactly.
I don't care.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with me?
Right.
I mean, us as lambs, we always want to know as much as we can about Mariah, but also there is a line. Like, we don't need to know that. I don't need to know her medical history.
Yeah.
I just need to know that she's doing well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Uh-huh.
But 19 years ago, it wasn't about that.
Yeah.
It was, hey, let's take her down.
Right.
She was riding so high for so long that people were just waiting for that one slip up.
Yeah.
My goodness. But look how that 2 months makes such not just like a change or anything. Like, it changed her career. Like, completely. The media's backlash on her literally changed her career.
To the point where she just had this major record deal and they were like, we have to break this.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You're toxic for our business.
They literally were like, but at the time I remember like all the headlines of Virgin Records like asking Mariah to leave. And they basically paid her like $25 million to, dissolve the contract. Honey, I would take that in a heartbeat.
Oh, I would take it and leave the planet.
And run, honey. Yes. I would run. But I remember
out my days luxuriating.
Absolutely.
I'll never see you bitches again.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Fuck you, Grammys.
And here's the thing. She didn't even do anything for them.
Yeah.
She didn't record under them.
Right,
she did a couple videos and whatnot. But it's like she basically got $25 million for free.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, honey, sign my ass up.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone's talking about, oh, poor Mariah, poor Mariah. Her record label dropped her. Bitch, you could drop me too.
Yeah.
Drop me, my mother, and my brother.
Yeah.
Drop us all, honey. $25 million.
Here's my postal address, and I'll be waiting for the check.
Waiting for the check.
Yeah.
But I do remember Mariah saying, I think it was a written statement when, Virgin and her parted ways. I don't know if it was in an official statement or if it was like
on
in
her
a magazine
website
or on the website
It was
or
on
something.
her mariahreport.com.
She said something like,
It was good.
I know. I wish I had
know.
done my research and pulled it up.
I tried to dig it up. It's hard to find it now.
It is.
It's like buried in the Mariah
It's buried
Carey
in
archives.
the Mariah thing. But she was saying, oh, now you made me forget what she was saying, Martin. She was saying,
she like shaded them a little bit, but then she was like saying something about not being supported by them.
yeah, she's like,
But then she said, which I really liked, and I burned into my brain. She said something like, this was like a learning moment for me, and I shouldn't have made a deal based on money.
Based on money, right.
It should have been about support and creativity and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, good point.
Good
gotcha.
point. Absolutely. Yeah.
And she got that money.
Yeah, she was like, if they don't want me, then that's where I don't want to be.
Right, but
Because
also,
no one's supporting me here.
But I also remember at the time when it happened, when she signed the deal in the first place, that's the publicity that everyone was hearing. It's like, Mariah Carey signs this $200 million contract, the biggest contract in the world, the money, millions and millions and millions of dollars. That's all it was about.
Right.
So when you put that price stamp on something, of course it's going to fail.
Right. Because their
There's
expectation...
no such thing as a $200 million album.
Yeah. Well, it was $100 million.
Something like whatever. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just the money was so absurd.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if she made the Emancipation of Mimi, it wouldn't have lived up to $100 million.
Right. Because now anything you do has such a heavy weight on it.
Exactly.
Now you have to live up to this.
Plus,
And
you're a woman.
You'll never live up to that.
Right. And you're a woman in that world.
In that world where you
Yeah.
can't even talk about your own mental health.
Yeah. You can't, you can't even be
do
exhausted.
anything. No, you can't.
Yeah.
No. So it was sort of when you look in retrospect at it now, you can see that this was all like the storm was a brewing.
Yeah.
From the moment that she signed that contract.
Right.
It probably was about the money, and it probably was sort of like a rash decision.
Well, it was a mistake to that should have just been private information.
I mean, she wanted to get away from Sony so badly that she just wasn't thinking clearly, and she just went to the first thing, and it had a big price tag on it.
Exactly.
And
You
so
go,
it's like,
yes,
hey,
please. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
And, up until Glitter, Mariah was riding high.
Yeah.
There were no downfalls in her career at all.
But listen, the contract would have made total sense if it was just a secret between
Right.
Mariah and the label.
Yeah.
They didn't need to blow it
They
up.
don't need to have all the headlines and everything like that.
That was a
but
mistake.
It sure was.
Yeah.
Sure was.
That's why when she had a new record deal at Def Jam and at Universal, they didn't talk about figures.
No, you didn't talk about figures. You didn't know.
Yeah.
No, and that's how it should be. Like that should be
Right.
between you and your accountant.
Yeah.
Not the whole world.
Right.
But I think Virgin, they offered that much money, so they want to hype
So
it.
they can brag.
You know what I mean?
The bragging
I remember
rights,
when
yeah.
she went over to Virgin, this is how crazy I am. I was like, I'm so excited she's going over to Virgin because that's where Paula Abdul had her label. And she was signed to them, and so was Janet Jackson. And
Yeah.
I'm like, all my girls are at the same record label. That's why I was excited for it. Like the money to me, I don't know what all that involves.
Yeah.
And whatever. But I was just excited that she was on the same label as
Right.
those other girls that I loved. So that's why it was exciting for me.
I mean, it could have been good. And Virgin was hot at the time, the
Yeah.
brand. Richard Branson's
Of course,
airline, and
of
they
course.
had mobile phones, they had
Yeah.
everything. So it was a hot spot to be.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. I'm sure, looking back now, there's probably no hard feelings on either end.
No.
Remember, because we got the Cribs episode where Mariah was on Richard Branson's island?
Yeah.
Drinking that Mariah wine?
Yeah, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so let's go back to a little bit of the tail end of this Glitter era. We see here she is. She's coming straight back to work. We're here in September of 2001. She went to the movie premiere. She's doing all the appearances. She really went straight back to work.
Yeah.
Yet I don't think she did anything on such a big level that people were like, oh, Mariah's finally, she's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So all this time we're seeing Mariah, but the general public isn't seeing Mariah.
Mm-hmm.
So they think that Mariah's still going through it. They don't realize that it was just like a little tiny, like 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's still, for the whole end of 2001, really not seeing Mariah.
Right.
We are, because we see everything that she does, but the general public wasn't. The next time that they really saw Mariah was at the top of 2002. And at the top of 2002, like January, that's when Virgin Records had announced that she was being let go, or they had resolved their issue or whatever. And right following that, she was signed to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl, which was going to be big because they were doing it in New Orleans at the Superdome, and they were going to have the American flag that they had saved from the Ground Zero. And so, like, this is, of course, like the first...
Like big national anthem moment.
Big national anthem moment when the country has just been through a tragedy.
Yeah.
And they chose Mariah Carey to sort of, to bring that... all together. So like right there, it sort of shows that like there was something was happening. There was a twinkle going on.
Yeah.
And Mariah was not, down for the count.
Right.
No, she wasn't down and out.
Yeah.
She's coming here representing the country and
But the Super Bowl,
well,
the Super Bowl is one of the biggest broadcasts in the world. It's around the world.
Oh yeah.
It's
Hundreds of millions.
Yeah. No, I think it's in the billions.
I believe it.
Yeah. People watch it. I don't know why.
Me neither, girl. But I sure did that year.
I know. Yeah, I tuned in that year in Australia.
But that was a really big moment for her to be able to capitalize on, and really that was the first time that people were seeing Mariah be Mariah Carey again.
Yeah.
And she did a beautiful rendition.
It's so good.
Are you kidding me, honey?
Yeah.
Up until, since Mariah's done it, I think there have been some couple of great Star Spangled Banners. Like Kelly Clarkson did a great job, and
Whitney's is the best.
Whitney's is the best, but Whitney did hers in like 1990 or something.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Again, it was at a time when Whitney did hers that we were like in the Gulf War, and we needed sort of like that patriotic moment, and Whitney like captured it. And I think for Mariah, 10, 12 years later to do it and be that patriotic symbol, I think was amazing. And I think that helped her, not just like personally, but also her image. It helped her image immensely.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was fucking gorgeous.
That blue dress, the blue silk.
Oh my God, and all the diamonds sparkling.
And the straight hair.
And the lighting in the back.
Yeah.
Girl, honey, she had all of that planned. You know how most people, they just go out there and they just stand there and sing. Oh, honey, Mariah had all the camera angles. She had the lighting was right. Everything was perfect.
Yeah, it was good.
It was amazing. It's literally visually, not just, obviously I prefer Mariah's version over anyone's. Whitney's is really, really good though. Can't shade that, but like visually, just looking at it, Mariah fucking brought that. She brought that.
And there's people like recreating the flag and the soldier situations.
Right.
Was that people or was it a statue?
It was a statue.
I thought it was people.
I think there were people there. There were people there
right?
because they had like the 9/11 flag.
Yes, that's it.
And then they had like a new flag. So it was like representing of the. Yeah. Whatever it was representing. But all I know is Mariah looked good. She had the camera angles, the lighting, and everything. So, like, that was big for her.
Big moment.
It was a big, big moment.
But also, like, in history, too, because the song is about the war, and the flag is, like, survived the war. And now here we go again, 2001. This flag survives a war attack.
Thing.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. So even...
And here she goes singing the song again.
For every down that Mariah had during the glitter era, there was something equally as uplifting for her in, her career.
Yeah.
And I think the Star Spangled Banner was one of those moments.
Yeah.
And now, to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem by the Boston Pops under the direction of Keith Lockhart, and the biggest selling female recording artist in history, Mariah Carey.
So early we hail at the twilight
really do.
I mean, it was just stormy seas for Mariah. She navigated through it.
Yeah, but it was the first time that she really had to navigate through that. Number one, she doesn't have somebody like Tiny Mottola behind her to sort of, save the day or whatever.
Yeah.
And I bet it was a great learning experience for her.
For sure.
It had to be.
Yeah.
Because she's on her own. She has her own management company. She's doing this. And, it goes to show that sometimes you think you can handle everything, but sometimes you have to let other people handle things.
Yeah.
So everything was a learning lesson. But think of it, Mariah was fairly young at the time.
Yeah.
Like I guess she would be in 30, 31.
Just in early 30s, yeah.
And that's when life happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when shit goes down.
Yeah.
And you want to learn it at that time. You don't want to be 50 years old.
Learning
those kinds of things. So it all happened and it was all meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love the glitter era. Ooh, I love it.
Well, just good because imagine it was good and everything went fine. You wouldn't be talking about it.
No, of course. It's iconic for a reason.
Yeah.
It's iconic and a cult classic.
And teachable for everybody. One day you're going to have a glitter era.
Yeah, absolutely. One day you are going to be on TRL pushing the ice cream cart, bitch. I've been there. Figuratively.
Yeah. But it'll be okay.
Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
You're going to get through it.
Here's what I was thinking about this the other day. So Rainbow album, and we got Mariah who sings Hero, and she tells you everything's gonna be fine, and you got Rainbow album with Can't Take That Away, Don't Let Them Take It Away From You, You're Strong, yada yada yada. Well, now she's got to prove it.
Oh, right. Yes.
Now you got to show us how to do that.
You have to look inside yourself and find the hero. And I think when Mariah was out promoting Never Too Far Hero / Hero, when she was doing those songs, I think she even mentioned that. She was like, the song has, I think she's said it a couple of times.
Yeah.
This song, Hero, especially, has brought a whole new meaning because... Oh, I was at the tribute to Heroes, or when I went to
song.
And she said,
but now it has a whole new meaning.
New meaning because she has to look inside herself to.
No, you're thinking of Around the World, when she says, "When I first wrote this song, it had a whole lot of meaning, but now when I sing it, it has a whole new meaning because I had to look inside myself and find the strength to get through a lot of things."
You're right. That's Around the World. She's in the brown dress.
Yes,
but she does say something very similar to that at the tribute to Heroes. She does say something very similar, right?
Yeah, very similar.
Very similar. But I was thinking of that.
Yes.
Quote. Listen, Mariah has quoted the same quote a couple of times. I can get confused.
Yes, if there's 100 people in the room,
right,
one will remember the quote.
Somebody.
Yeah. Is that how it goes?
No, something like that. Okay, so what else?
Hero,
about
so
this?
anyway, she had to prove herself.
Yeah, and she did.
Yeah.
And she absolutely did.
Yeah.
And then also, so now we're at like the top of 2002. She's dropped from Virgin, and then she does the Super Bowl, which is like amazing. Like that's the perfect thing for her.
Yeah.
And then after that, she's like, she doesn't have a label, she doesn't have anything, and that's when she starts crafting the Charm Bracelet album. And she was like, I'm not going to jump into another label right now. I'm just going to make music that I want to make, and then later on I'll figure out. And I like that she didn't, because she had learned her lesson. She wasn't going to go after money, and she wasn't going to go after some, to a label that didn't support her. And so when she went to Universal and Def Jam, they were the perfect ones, and they did support her.
They did, and they were big at the time because they had some really big acts. I think U2 was on them.
Probably,
They had some really big acts at the time. It was a good move.
It was a good move
to go to Universal.
Yeah, and that was a great partnership.
Yeah,
I mean, hello, the whole Mimi era and everything. But you could tell that she felt supported and that people actually did care, and they weren't just going to be like, "Oh, ooh, you're not selling. Oh,
right.
well, but you're done. Bye."
Yeah.
Because that they could have done that with Charm Bracelet because Charm Bracelet wasn't a biggest selling.
Yeah.
And it didn't have any hits off of it.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They're like, yeah, girl, let's do it again.
Keep going.
Let's keep going. And that's what you want, especially in this, dog-eat-dog music industry business. You need to know that you're supported.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's kind of how the glitter era wrapped up. Because once the movie came out, I feel like once everything got released, she was like, okay, bye. We're done with this.
Yeah, we're done with it. Yeah.
Gotta go.
Exactly. And again, I think I said this last episode, like even by the time that she had put out the Last Night a DJ Saved My Life music video, honey, that was all on her own budget.
Yeah.
That was just turn the camcorder on, let's make a video for the fans.
Yeah.
And we loved it.
Yeah.
And we loved it. So she was long gone, done, and bye-bye with Virgin as soon as it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just even the work, though. She like packed that shit up and put it in the closet.
Yep, done.
We never saw it again.
Yeah. Never again. Until Sweet Fantasy Tour.
Yeah.
We got an amazing Loverboy moment.
But wasn't it like a breakthrough? Like, oh my God, Loverboy?
Oh my God.
She did it?
Yeah. That was amazing. I would love her to like pull out more of this stuff more often because hopefully now with the Justice for Glitter movement, she realizes that, you know what, it wasn't the worst thing ever.
Right.
It was really, if everything else wasn't going on around Glitter, the movie and the soundtrack, like all the other crazy negative things and the world changing, it really would not have made such an impact on her career.
Yeah.
You know, and if the media and press were a little bit nicer to her, so would have the general public have been.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have gotten so muddled up and so nasty and negative.
Most of the people who say, oh, she made that bad movie, when you ask them, did you watch it? No.
They've never actually watched it.
They just read about it.
They just hear that it's the worst.
Yeah.
But it's not.
No,
it's
the
cute.
worst.
It's just a cute.
Yeah.
And honey, she looks amazing in the movie.
Yes.
I love all the ensembles.
Everything.
The hair.
Hairstyles.
I love everything.
The ponytails.
Oh, honey, you want to talk about a rockin' a high pony.
The silver paint all over the arms.
Yes, Miss Billy Frank.
Yeah.
Yes, the movie's amazing. Gosh, people need to get into it more. And I think, you know, now that time has gone by, I think more and more people have sort of warmed up to it in a little way here and there.
Well, let's like kind of recap. It's for Mariah, it was probably the whole scenario was probably an extremely traumatic experience.
Oh, very much so.
Physically diagnosed with an illness, a mental problem. Professionally, the label fired her.
Yeah.
The movie didn't do well. The world crumbled down in 9/11. Like everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Yeah.
So it's probably only just now that's starting to
like
heal.
In order to get past it, you literally have to sweep it under the rug.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
But now she's told us what happened when she went to the hospital. People have brought Glitter on iTunes. It went to #1. All this. So I think the healing has started for Glitter.
Oh, absolutely.
So she can start to like look at it again and dig through it.
Absolutely. I remember one time when I saw her at the after, like when she was leaving the Oprah show. I think it was during the Mimi era, and I think We Belong Together was #1. And I had handed her a couple of CD booklets to autograph, and Glitter was one of them. And she signed the other two, and she did not sign Glitter and just handed it back to me with nothing said. And I was like, but what about Glitter? Honey, she was already lost. She was down the street by that time.
Bye.
But eventually I did get her to sign it. I think like maybe the next time I think it was like E=MC² era. She also went to Oprah.
Yeah.
And then I didn't bring any other booklets.
Oh.
And you know Mariah knows me, so she
it.
can't say no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, can you please sign this, please? And she like looked at me and she signed it. And I was like, okay, I guess I can't say no.
Oh, dear.
So I think over the years she is warming back up to it, obviously. And like, you know, this was the first time when she was doing Press for Caution that she actually spoke on it.
I know.
Because she had not spoken on it at all.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. And I hope we get some more performances.
Yeah. There's some good shit in there.
One can only hope.
Yeah.
One can only hope. Yeah.
Glitter.
What else? Have
Are we missing
covered
anything?
everything? I think we pretty much did. I think this has been... it's been one of my favorite series to record because you really go back and
remember
so
all of it.
much.
Yeah.
So much.
Also, it was like high risk. Like, who knew the emancipation of Mimi was coming?
Oh, nobody.
It just really seemed like it was the end of her career.
Yeah. Because
it could have gone that way.
Could have gone that way.
It could have been the end.
But when you think about it, you know, I guess, well, it's also almost 20 years ago. It sold pretty well. You know,
Yeah.
like I think it debuted on the Billboard 200 in the U.S. I think it debuted at like number 7, which is good.
Yeah.
Obviously not Mariah numbers.
Yeah.
But it's still good, and it still went on to sell 3 million copies around the world.
That's good if you invested $10,000 in it, not $100 million. Do you know what I mean?
Well, true.
That's the flip side of it all.
But yeah.
But, it was a moment.
It was what it was, girl. It was what it was. And
Yeah.
I still, to this day, I love Glitter. I love Loverboy. Love everything about it.
I mean, you have to love it because it's monumental in the story of Mariah.
Yeah, it sure is. She had the ups and downs.
Yeah.
But anyways, Glitter for me is one of my faves. I hope it is everyone else's fave too.
Me too.
I hope so. Is there anyone? Have you ever met a lamb that didn't like Glitter?
Ooh.
Like the soundtrack, at least. I mean, I've definitely had like conversations with a lot of lambs that are like, the movie is really, really bad.
Yeah.
And I'm down with that. Like I can
argue.
I can accept that.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever heard anybody say they didn't like the soundtrack.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
Maybe that'd be a good like sly quiz to throw into people. Like, what do you think of Glitter? Huh?
Well, yeah. What's your favorite song from Glitter? And they better say one of the bops. And I'll be like, okay, absolutely. Yeah, I think it is universally loved by the Lamely at least. And slowly but surely, this album from almost 20 years ago is making its way to the general public.
Yeah. Well, they played it on Fuse, on the cable network Fuse.
Mm-hmm, the movie.
Yeah.
Every once in a while,
on TV.
Every once in a while when I had like real TV, they would play it. They would play it like, they would
on
play
loop.
it on loop.
Yeah. It's been out there.
It's definitely been out there and people have seen it, you know.
Yeah.
But whatever. You gotta, pull out your good DVD to watch it now. Mm-hmm. Jesus. Remember those things? Mm-hmm. Lord. But yeah, great movie, great soundtrack. I'm glad that we finally dove into this project of Glitter.
Yeah, well,
because it's a big undertaking.
Exactly, but I'm glad that we did it because there are elements I didn't even know about, like all the glitters. I didn't know it was a finished script. Mm-hmm, That's new information to me.
Yeah.
If you follow our Instagram page at the Mariah Report, we're collaborating with the Utah Mariah Carey Museum. His collection
of all the promo items and everything.
Stuff I didn't even know existed. It's blowing my mind.
Absolutely. Yeah, because
there's like stuff I didn't know about. I'm like, this is some good shit. They spent a lot of money,
a lot of money,
on promo.
A lot of money.
Yeah, because there's no official merch that we could buy the fans.
No, she never.
It was
did
just
like,
all promo.
It was all promo kind of stuff, and you really had to sort of look for it too.
Yeah.
But again, those are like I remember going into like the record store, and this, I don't know if I told you on this Glitter series, but I'm sure I mentioned it before. That's where I met my very first lamb friend at the record store when they were like Loverboy was out.
Yeah.
And they were doing like a contest where you could win like all these posters and all this promotional stuff. And like we were there and we met each other because we were filling out the little tickets. So you had to put the ticket in the little box with your name and your number. And then she won everything. I was like, you bitch. That was my first lamb friend. And I still know her now. So shout out to Terry from Chicago.
Hey, Terry.
But like Glitter like was so like, it was a transformative moment.
Yeah.
And, in my world of connecting with the Lamely and also like it was iconic in Mariah's career.
Yeah.
For being so bad it was good.
Yeah.
So.
But also shows you don't need to have like one job. You don't have to just be a singer. You can try acting.
Branch out. Do something else, We like to see Mariah doing things, walking down the street.
Yeah.
With a high pony.
We do. But again, to Mariah's testament is that even though Glitter was a disaster, literally, career-wise, she still went on to do acting.
Right.
Didn't stop her.
Yeah. No. You can't let something like that, deter you from continuing on. Again, because it wasn't necessarily just the project was bad. That's not what it was. It was everything else. It was like the perfect storm of a disaster, like had she not had a breakdown or had she not been filming Wise Girls at the same time and not sleeping and overworking, maybe she wouldn't have had that, that breakdown and, things would have been different. But I mean, it is what it is and you got to take it for what it is. And again, it was a lesson to be learned. And you need, honey, the sooner you can learn those lessons, the better.
Yeah, well, you have to learn them.
Eventually you will, one way or another. So,
unfortunately for Mariah, it was on a grand scale around the world.
In front of the whole damn nation.
World.
World.
I remember it was like front page news in Australia.
Oh yeah,
because they weren't like Mariah wasn't like a hot topic at the time. So for her to get front page, it's like, oh shit.
Oh, she was headline news on CNN.
Yeah,
there was a ticker at the bottom with all the updates of Mariah, and I'm like,
horrifying.
Are you kidding me? That's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
People were asking me, "Are you okay?" Me, I'm like, I'm okay.
Like, I'm good. I'm good. Why? What? What? Yeah. No, I remember when I first heard that Mariah was hospitalized.
Yeah.
This guy I was dating at the time called me before I even knew anything. And he's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, what's wrong? He's like, did you hear Mariah's in the hospital? I'm like, no, I'm sure she's fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, I was all over the news the next morning. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. I was worried.
Yeah, well, yeah, you would be.
You know?
The way the news handled it.
Yeah. But she was good. She was good. Strong woman.
Yeah.
Strong. Yeah. So crazy. The memories. All those memories.
Yeah.
So crazy. So, but they live on in history, and we love glitter. So
we still got it.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they're not the end. Hopefully we'll get some more glitter.
Yeah. And give it to me. Give it to me.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you everybody for listening to our glitter series.
I hope you liked it.
I hope so. And we will be back next week with more Mariah for you.
Of course.
Absolutely. Don't forget to share us with your friends.
Yes.
Follow us on social media.
Do all that.
Rate, review, and subscribe.
Yeah.
There you go.
Spread the word.
Absolutely. So until next week.
Bye.
Bye.